Hello, my name is Summer Janae, and welcome back to my channel. I'm not sure if you've seen the video yet, but if you haven't, go check this video out. I'll have it at the end of this video. But I was talking about a dilemma regarding a knee procedure that I needed to make a decision on. And so I was very torn, if you will, between a kneecap replacement and the total knee replacement. But I knew I needed to have surgery, or I know I need to have surgery. And so I started praying and I was like, Lord, now I'm going to need you to help me out. I need you to send me a sign because I'm just torn between the two. I know I can't keep doing injections because they're not lasting. And then I have to go a really long time, like this, in this case, 2.5 months before I can even do anything else. And so, in the last video, it was the Friday that I left the doctor's office and I needed to, and I knew, I told you coming home that I was going to go and see the doctor. I called him and said, hey, I know what I want. I know I want to have surgery. They didn't ask me which surgery I wanted to have, but they had to reschedule me to come back in so that they could go through the surgery steps and all of that. So as I was waiting in the lobby, still didn't know between the kneecap removal replacement or the full knee replacement. And I knew that places other than my kneecap are hurting. It's like hurting in other areas and it's tender to the touch and all of that. But I didn't want to go too conservative and I didn't want to go too far. And for me, I was leaning towards the knee replacement, but I didn't want to quite pick the knee replacement, but I didn't want to go and I was on the fence because I didn't want to do the kneecap replacement and then a couple years down the road, or if maybe not even a couple years down the road, they have to go in and do the complete knee anyway. And so I was sitting there praying in the lobby. And I saw this lady come in and she was like really jazzy looking. And I was like, oh, look at her, is what I said to myself. And lo and behold, she came and sat right next to me. And she was just as friendly as she wanted to be. And she was talking and I was like, oh man, this lady's talking a lot is what I was thinking. But she ended up saying something that caught my attention. She's like, saying something about her knees. And I was like, oh, what happened? What happened to your knee? And she's like, oh, I had a knee replacement. And she went on to tell me that she had it 9 months ago and she was back to power walking. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she showed me her scar and I said, oh yeah, that looks consistent with, what they told me it would be. And just her presence, her openness, her willingness to have the conversation with me, I know that she was God sent. And I told her that before I got up from when they called my name, that she was my answered prayer because I was looking all of the things that I had questions about or I wanted to know about, but couldn't quite formulate them to, I guess, be able to know to ask them. But they were like in my mind, but not in the sense that I could formulate what I was trying to say. She came and sat right next to me and pretty much laid out everything that I was concerned about. And I was like, look at God. And I just finally had to tell her before I left, I was like, ma'am, I just want to thank you so much because you are the answer to the prayer that I've been praying, that I just didn't know what decision to make because I had these certain questions, and every question I had, she came in and she answered it. So I just want to let you guys know that I am having surgery in the beginning of February. So I'm trying to backstock my content so that when I'm down, at least I have material that's scheduled so that it'll keep flowing and playing while I'm trying to get to the point to recover, but I know I'll initially be on a walker, then I'll progress to a cane, and then from there it'll be nothing, but I'm excited, if you will, to not be in pain anymore because I'm having to sit with sitting like this with my knees bent. It hurts. Um, I have usually when the days that I'm working from home, I'm like in a recliner and my leg is straight and I'm like at a tilt, if you will, so that my leg can be straight and I'm either icing it or I have the heating pads on them. And it's just the beginning of December. So I have about another 60 days or so before I will even be able to get my surgery. But I'm just trusting and believing God that if He did it for my newfound friend, He's going to give me the same grace. And one of the things she told me that just absolutely blew my mind was she said that the robot did part of her surgery. She found out afterwards that the robot did part of her surgery and that that was the most, what did she say? The most high tech or precise surgery that she could have had. And she said everything just is great. She's recovering well, but she did warn me that the first couple of, I don't know if she said days or weeks, that she said she just did not like the doctor. She wasn't feeling it. She was second guessing everything. So knowing that in advance, going into it, that there is going to be some pain, but I'm just looking forward to the joy on the other side of the recovery. And for those of you out there who are maybe passing judgment or whatever, because I am going to get my knee fixed, saying, I need to trust God. I trust the God that heals, that also heals through man. So if God allowed them to have the knowledge and awareness to fix my knee, then I'm going to get my knee fixed. So if y'all got something else to say, to each his own. But that is all I wanted to say to you guys. I just wanted to share that amazing experience about how God answered. He heard and then He answered my prayer. And I literally thought I literally thought when I went in there, I was like, oh God, it's almost time for them to call me back. They were running late. It's almost time for them to call me back. And I just don't know what I'm going to tell them I want them to do. So I really appreciate that about the doctor I'm seeing, that he doesn't try to box you in. He just gives you all the options and then you tell him what you want done or how you want to proceed forward. So I really, really, really appreciate him. My coworker told me about him, and God already knew that I was going to need that second opinion when she was telling me about him when I was going to the doctor to see the other one. So he lined that thing up right then and there, and he's been in the midst all the way up to this point. And I'm just going to trust God for complete and total healing of my knee after they take all of that arthritic damaged parts out. And I'm just so grateful for the opportunity to be able to get it fixed, that I don't have to keep living in constant pain. And yeah, that's all I have for today. I just wanted to share that good news story with you all, that we serve a living, healing God. And I don't think you should discount the healing that may come another way. It's still God sent. So for those of you who are struggling about making a decision about some type of treatment, I'm here to tell you that you seek God first and everything else will line up, and He will make every crooked path straight. That's all I have for you today. You have an amazingly blessed rest of your day, and I will keep you posted as I progress along this journey. I know I have a joint replacement class coming up. I have my pre-op coming up. I have to pick up all of my meds, and I also need to pick up, I think they're going to deliver to my house machine that I can use to kind of help get my range of motion going back after. I am not sure why my video just turned off, but I guess that's my cue that it's time to go. So thank you again for watching. Have an amazing, blessed rest of your day and go be great.